Hi, I'm Luke Malhauser. For several months, our team has been working on a new website, worldviewnaturalism.com, where you can find articles, podcasts, debates, videos, and other resources about worldview naturalism. I'll let you explore the site on your own, but for now let me answer the question, what is worldview naturalism?
Well, what's a worldview? A worldview is just a way of seeing the world. We all have a worldview, whether we know it or not, because we all have a way of thinking about what exists, thinking about how we can know what's true, thinking about what's right and wrong, and thinking how society should be structured. And if I haven't thought much about my worldview, or why I see those things the way that I do, then I probably have a worldview that isn't very well formed. Many people spend more time deciding which clothes to buy than they do deciding which worldview to have, even though their worldview makes a much bigger difference in their lives. You already know the names of many worldviews. Catholicism is a worldview. Buddhism is a worldview. Scientology is a worldview. Those worldviews have something in common. They tend to get their picture of reality from ancient books or from divine revelations or from traditions.
So what about the naturalistic worldview? What is worldview naturalism? Instead of getting its picture of reality from tradition or from divine revelation, worldview naturalism gets its picture of reality from the most reliable methods of getting at the truth we've ever discovered. Science, logic, evidence.
Religious worldviews are different. For example, witch doctors and monks and priests perform rituals or speak magical incantations or seek the favor of invisible gods in order to heal the sick.
These are the ones you called out with AIDS, Pastor. My God! HIV, you devil of AIDS, come out of them! In the name of Jesus Christ, you come out, I said come out!
That's how we tried to cure diseases for thousands of years. But it wasn't until we used the methods of science that we discovered that disease is caused by tiny microorganisms and viruses that we can defeat by developing vaccines and antibiotics. Since then, scientific medicine has brought real healing to millions of people who would have died if the only things we knew to try were rituals and incantations and prayers. Smallpox killed more than 300 million people in the 20th century alone. But if you ask a young person today what smallpox is, they probably won't even know. And that's because of science. In just a few short centuries, science has been so successful at showing us how the real world works that we have conquered diseases, used the internet to video chat with people on the other side of the planet, and landed men on the moon.
Now, what happens when you acknowledge that science is our most successful way of getting to knowledge about the world? What happens when you take science seriously? When you take science seriously, you have a new way of seeing the world, a different picture of how the world works, a different picture of who you are. Someone who takes science seriously in this way is a naturalist.
A naturalist, then, doesn't believe in ghosts or demons or gods because there's no scientific evidence for such things. The naturalist sees himself as fully part of nature, just like every other animal. A naturalist also thinks that whatever morality there is exists in the natural world. For a naturalist, morality isn't about divine commands or undetectable intrinsic values, but about pleasure or happiness or desires or social contracts or something in the real world. Now you might wonder, is this something new? Why haven't I heard of worldview naturalism before? Well, it's not something new. Worldview naturalism has a long and celebrated history, from Democritus to Denis Diderot to Daniel Dennett. In fact, a recent poll suggests it may be the most popular worldview among professional philosophers, and it's very popular among scientists too. Millions of people around the world can be called worldview naturalists, including many of our best and brightest.
So I invite you to check out the website and see for yourself whether you think worldview naturalism is true and useful. Welcome to worldviewnaturalism.com.